I'm always excited about things having to do with circularity. And I will say that circularity is more than just taking clothes back and making something new out of the old clothes, which is kind of where we are right now. But it's really thinking, well, full circle. You know, how do you keep that going? And at some point, all that stuff is going to go into the landfill. You know, it's unlikely that we'll be able to keep the circular loop going on indefinitely. So we always have to think about compostability and, you know, what's going to happen when that thing goes to the waste heap. Will it decompose and be at minimal not harmful to the earth, but even better if it could actually nourish the earth? So those two aspects I think are really important.
And I would say yes. And this term regenerative enterprise or regenerative agriculture, as opposed to just sustainable or organic. I know Patagonia and Dr. Bronner's are leading in that domain. I can't remember the name of the actual organization. Maybe you remember.
Well,
Regenerative
we're
Ag.
involved in the Savory Institute, which is one of the regenerative ag
Yeah.
organizations. I don't know if that's the one that you're thinking
Look
of.
up regenerative ag and Dr. Bronner's, you'll find it. But basically, the notion is that it's not enough to, for example, have organic cotton if you're, excuse the expression, screwing the workers. Or it looks more holistically at the whole impact, and it wants to give back to the community as opposed to take from. Dear friend of ours here in Western Mass, Dean Sycon of Dean's Beans, his whole notion was business as a vehicle for people-centered change. So he's working in the coffee lands and only for the purpose of supporting and building the communities of farmers there, right? So it's beyond fair trade. But so it's and his business is thriving. So it doesn't have to be either or. But I think that notion of regenerativity and giving back.
Yeah.
And what's not receiving enough attention, that's probably books. I still think the notion of exponential growth of profits is a problem.
Mm.
The multinational Wall Street based concept of exponential growth of profits being the number one goal. So I think a really good movement there is Imperative 21, which J. Cohen Gilbert, who is the founder of B Corp, co-founder of B Corps, he's one of the guys behind that. We're really looking at what's a different model. And then I think, of course, the whole B Corporation movement, because it's companies that are inspiring each other to use business as a force for good and environmental and social, and also diversity, JEDI metrics, justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion. So I think all of those are exciting.